Hey guys, what's up? FlameAmigo619, ToonKriticY2K here. Now, I know you're probably a little bit confused by this, but yeah, I'm kind of doing this a little differently. This is episode 2, I believe, technically episode 3. I'm doing this without the guys. I want to do this one on my own because that's what I've intended to do. This story that I am about to read is one I have actually written. It's called Down at the Fox Farm. It was a story that I wrote originally for two friends of mine. We aren't on speaking terms right now, but I really wanted to actually read this story to you guys. It's only about 2 chapters, and I kind of left the ending rather, I guess, what's the word, ambiguous or whatever. Really, anything can happen. Um, I really did like this story. This was my first attempt at not only writing a furry story, but also writing a yaoi kind of story. But mind you, there's no sex in it or anything. It's more of a, kind of country love kind of thing. And I've never written something like this before. So, this is about maybe a year ago or something. I really hope you guys enjoy this because, for me, this was a lot of fun to write. It took me a while, but I got it done. And, yeah, just sit back and have a listen to Down at the Fox Farm, written by, well, me. There's something to be said about hard work around the farm. It takes time and patience to maintain a sense of cleanliness at the Fox Farm, and with a handful of volunteers tempted by a fair amount of cash, well, cleanliness was quite common. I'm not too interested in cash. I mean, what exactly can I do with it out in the middle of nowhere? It's about a 15-minute drive from here to the small town and nearly an hour walking to and from. But hey, never a dull moment down at the Fox Farm. The seasons always seem to come and go so quickly. In the spring, what else was there to be done other than harvesting? A plethora of fruits and vegetables were planted and harvested. The owner of the farm was all for true organic food, and no one would deny the sweet, succulent taste of a ripe and juicy apple. I know I certainly can't. An apple a day keeps the fennec nice and cheerful. So many people would flock from miles away to taste their world-famous fruits. In the summer, there was quite a demand for a few stable hands for the annual horse derby championships. Not that anyone particularly cared too much for horse racing. I did, but you wouldn't hear that from me when the others are around. They only seemed to be more concerned with the riding, in more ways than one for a select few. In the fall came the raking of leaves and maintaining of the crops, and also the setting of the fall carnival. Kids enjoyed the festivities just as much as I did. The Ferris wheels, bobbing for apples, darts, blackjack, and my personal favorite, the shooting range. Give me one of those pea shooters and I can shoot a can off a fence post from nearly a mile away. Oh, sorry. I probably should have introduced myself. Name's Oliver Huntsfield, but everyone just calls me Ollie. A lot can be said about me, but let me just lay down the basics for you. I'm a fennec fox. Some of you probably have no idea who those are. I'll just leave it at this. We have big ass ears, slim and slender bodies, and a fluffy tail. You have no idea how many stable boys try to hit on me during the summer. It's always the same crap with them. One-track mind meets my one-track boot. You'd think there'd be some variety in their approaches, but, well, no. It's all the same, really. Already I'm off to a bad day. My truck overheated thanks to the damn sun. Did I mention it's right in the middle of summer? One of the guys who I clearly rejected got mad at me and slammed a bucket on my head, and to top it all off, I was left all by myself to clean all 10 stables. It takes me at least an hour to clean one of these stables, so if this is their form of cruel and unusual punishment, it's no wonder I'm demanding a raise. Unlike them, I give a damn about the work around here. I used to love being able to come here and work around the farm, but with all these stupid horny jerks around, I'm thinking of just leaving and going to work in the town. At least there, the pay will be better. 2 hours in, I'm on the 3rd stable. To my surprise, no one gave me any trouble. Am I so used to being hit on and harassed that I actually want them to do something to me? No, I can't stop thinking like that. I just need to get this done, get my pay for the week, and then just go back home and sleep. And all I want is sleep. Wait, those can't be boots out here, can it? My ears flicker, and I'm expecting either Leon or Travis to come in, and they usually do at this time of day. Hello? That doesn't sound like Leon or Travis. In fact, it doesn't sound like anyone I know. My eyes peer out from one of the holes in the stable, and my eyes meet something I did not quite expect. The ears and the tail gave him away. He was for sure a cat, but he seemed to be a bit bigger than the other cats I've seen. He was about 6'2" from what I gathered. Fairly muscular, easy on the eyes, bright brown fur. He didn't look like any of the others I'd seen. Sure, a lot of them worked out, but not like this. He was a burly guy, too, wearing a blue baseball cap, a white t-shirt that hugged the outline of his body, and baggy blue jeans with brown boots. Is there anyone here? Am I seriously feeling nervous? No, I can't be. He's just like the rest. Horny, one-track-minded jerks. I'm not gonna fall for any of his coy little tricks. Hey there. I froze, almost dropping the broom I had in my hands. Was I really clutching it that tight? What do I do? He's right behind me and I can't think of anything to say. Yes? I say, turning around to face him. Big mistake. My eyes instantly meet his, and I'm not exactly the biggest fan of looking people in the eyes, and right now is one of those reasons. Eyes, someone once told me, are the gateways to the soul. It was as if I opened the door to something different. I had to do something, anything. Was I, interrupting anything? He asked me. No, I have things under control here. Really? The other stables look like they haven't even been touched. He reached for one of the brooms nearby me. I can help. Looks like he won't take no for an answer. I rolled my eyes and, thankfully he didn't see, and continued to sweep, reaching for one of the rags to dip it lightly into the polish, rubbing it along one of the 4 saddles. Rough morning? He said from the other corner of the stable. Well, I guess it could be better. I just got here. I'm from Rhode Island. Way too boring over there in my opinion. Rhode Island? Well, he could be bullshitting, but all the way out from there to California sounds a bit fishy. There's a heavy demand for works over there, as I recall, so what would bring him all the way? So how long have you been working here? He said. 4 years now. Why am I giving him answers? You probably know the farm better than anyone. I have to ask, is it normal to be hit on around here? Always, I groaned. It's the norm, every fucking day. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw the cat finish filling the oats bags. Lifting one of those bags was like lifting a bag of cement, but he lifted it like it was nothing. Can't imagine why, said the cat. So, do you, have a name? We all do, I remarked. Mine apparently is bae, bitch, a tight ass. Oh, come on, that can't be true. You seem like a nice guy. I turned back to face him and saw him leaning against the wall. Of course you don't have to tell me. Fair enough. It's Jack. Jack Prospero. Finally, a name. Oliver. People just call me Ollie. Aw, it's a cute name, he said with a light giggle. Tell me something I don't know. I'm sick of that. We moved on to the next stable. I decided not to say anything for the next few stables. I really did not want to try and talk to him, but my pride kept telling me no. Why wasn't he doing anything? Why wasn't he trying to take advantage of me? At any moment, he could grab me and do whatever he wanted to me. He had the muscles, the timing, and everything. But why was he being nice? Does he honestly think he can sweet-talk his way into my pants? Well, he does seem nice enough, but I learned the hard way that looks can be very deceiving. Okay, who put you up to coming in here to talk to me? I said, turning to him, crossing my arms. I beg your pardon? Try and distract me until Leon or Travis get in here, and then you get the best slice of the cake. I walked right up to him. Don't lie to me. What the hell, dude? I'm not gonna do anything to you. I just came in to do some work. Oh, yeah, sure, that's what they all say. I say, growling at him under my breath. You boys are all the same. I'm not gonna let you get any of this. You don't deserve me. Ollie, just relax, alright? I just got here. I picked up one of the pitchforks and pointed it straight at him. And now you're leaving before I shove this right up your ass, and who knows, you might actually like it. Come on, let me see the fear in your eyes. Let me see the fear in your eyes. I could see his eyes widen. He began to back up, but not out of fear, but confusion. It didn't seem to actually faze him at all. He just backed up. Before we turned around, he just smiled and looked at me. Hey, sorry. I just wanted to be your friend. And for the first time in a long time, then the guilt set in. You ever notice how there's never anything good on the radio? The same old people spouting the same old bullshit about news in the big cities that people around here could give less of a fuck about. And that's life around here. In this small town, we are excluded and secluded from the mainstream news. Ask me if I care. I haven't really seen Jack for a while. I expected to see him later that night before leaving, but I couldn't find him that day. Or the one after that. Or the one after that. 3 days went by and... Wait. Why do I care? I shouldn't have felt guilt back then. He deserved what I said. All he wanted to do was just talk, and I just told him to basically fuck off. Why do I feel guilt? Maybe tonight I just need to relax. The carnival's tonight, and for once I'm excited. Normally when I go there, no one knows me and no one bothers with me. It's the best kind of peace and quiet, but at the same time, the worst kind of loneliness. My truck finally pulls up into the dirt parking lot, stopping with a loud screeching noise. I really need to work on it. Maybe a new paint job, fix the upholstery, get that damn seat to not lock in place. Something like that. Opening the door, I step out and take the scarf from the passenger seat. It's not as extremely chilly as it was last night. You should have seen the other boys freezing their asses off. It was pitiful, actually. I chose a nice attire for the night. Black t-shirt with a blue vest on it, tight black pants, and some nice boots from my dad. Even now, they still fit me. Myros was a silent little town. I never could say it right. A hospital, church, movie theater, police station. For a small town, it was basically one big business district. Right in the middle of the town square is where all the action is, with a glorious clock tower in the center. One that's been around since as long as I can remember. Look at their happy faces. Withdrawn from all the drama around for just one night in the loving embrace of a friend lover. Such is life once a month in Myros. I purchased my ticket for the day, a mere $2, and where else do I go? Out in the shooting range. I don't know why, but the satisfaction of picturing someone's face on the target I'm shooting just brings a smile to my own face. As usual, I score with perfect sixes on all of them, even though they change positions and new obstacles have been added. In all my times coming to this little shooting range, I've never missed a shot. Never. "Kid, do you ever do anything except the shooting range?" said a voice. I looked up to see Alan filling up the next round for my shooter. I didn't really talk to him much, but he was a nice enough guy, I suppose. "Not really, sir." "Come on, it's been like that every month," he said. "Don't you ever dance?" "Well, I would, sir, but I don't know how to dance." Of course, I was bullshitting, but he probably knew the real reason. "Take my advice, kid. Just go and let yourself loose. Have some fun for once." My body immediately said no, but my heart wanted for the first time to feel at least something. Anything. But I just gave a silent nod and put down the gun, walking over towards the dance area. Have fun for once? The nerve. I would have fun if everybody wasn't a jerk. Walking over to one of the benches, I just sit down and grumble to myself, crossing my arms. Look at how happy they are. Just dancing there, lost in the moment. I've yearned for the chance to have someone hold me in their arms and just dance with me. And then I saw him, Jack, just entering the area and looking around. Was he searching for me or just some random person? His boyfriend? Girlfriend? I don't even know anymore. To be honest, now that I think about it, I do feel sorry for being rude to him, but maybe he was just trying to be nice. But I just can't trust him. Not yet. He could just be trying to get into my pants like all the others. I saw him look over at me for a moment, but then he turned away, and I thought I could have seen him shake his head lightly. Oh, damn it. I probably just fucked up the one chance I had to make a friend around here. It felt like 2 hours passed, when only half of one did. All I did was just sit there and watch everyone. No one talked to me, no one said anything, not even Jack. I've grown accustomed to this feeling, and in some ways I embrace it, and you know what? Fuck it, I'm leaving. I stand straight up and turn to only bump right into a familiar tall cat's chest. I look up to see he's chosen a laid-back attire as well. White sleeveless shirt and white armband, blue jeans, and some surprisingly nice-looking shoes. Sorry, I say to him, backing up a bit. He looked down at me with a smug look on his face. "Ah, it's you, Mr. Pitchfork." Do you have a dance partner?" "Ah, so now you're interested." He laughed at me. "You sure you're not lying so you can get close to me and stab me?" "Look, I'm sorry about that. Not many people try to be my friend around here. The only people who really talk to me are those pervs. I'm really sorry." I was half expecting a witty retort from him, but he smiled and just nodded. "Well, I can see that," he said. With the way the other stable boys are messing with each other, you think you entered the site for some low-grade porno. I may not have been laughing on the outside, but it was a good chuckle on the inside. I felt him put a paw on my shoulder. So, are you going to stand here, or are we going to dance? He asked me, extending his hand. I looked up to him and smiled. Yeah, let's dance. I took his paw and time stopped for both of us. For the first time in a long time, I was genuinely happy. I don't remember how long we danced for. All I knew for sure was that I didn't want it to stop. To my surprise, Jack didn't make a single move. He didn't try to grab my ass, and I knew exactly where his hands were. The dance's tempo shifted, and our tempo followed from slow to fast. We let the rhythm take over all our thoughts. When the tempo slowed, I rested my head on his chest, purring softly so he wouldn't notice, even though I'm sure he did notice. Hey, do you want to go somewhere else, for some cold ones maybe? I asked him, blushing softly. You drink? No, not really. I thought maybe you did. Socially. But just enough to get buzzed, never enough to get hungover in the morning. Alright, so, care to join me? We were debating on where to go back, and he offered to take me back to his place. Surprisingly, it wasn't as far as I thought it would be, just about a 6-minute walk, and I counted. How he convinced me to just leave my truck behind, I'll never know. We ended up going off the dirt road out of town to what I like to call Rich Bitch Lane. The farm owners with a lot of green in their pocket always end up with some of the nicest houses, but it's always the rich ones who turn out to be the worst kind, thus, rich bitch. I recognized most of the houses, and after all, I had to drive out here and visit the Fox farm owner just to get a job. We got to the end of the block and arrived by the driveway. I was half expecting some shoddily put-together shack, but to my surprise, his house was something I certainly wasn't expecting. It was a modest little cream-colored cottage. It was something you see off a postcard. I actually had to touch it to see if it was real or not. We walked up the steps onto the porch, and he opened the door for me like a gentleman. The inside of the house was fairly standard. Living room, kitchen, a stairway leading up, and a closed door to what I'm guessing may be a study. "Make yourself at home, Ollie," he said to me. "I'm not exactly the best in the beer department, but I do have some wine if you want." Yeah, that sounds fine. I watched him leave into the kitchen, and I felt safe for the first time in a while. Walking over, I lightly sat down on the sofa and let the texture go across my fur. How in the world did a farm boy get such a luxurious house? I guess I lowered the standards because even a nice house like this would be considered luxurious, compared to the master mansions I had seen at the middle of the block. I decided to remove my boots carefully, rather than kicking them off. Oh, fuck, how long was I dancing for? My feet felt like I'd been running a mile. Jack came back into the room. "Yeah, there's a wine cellar downstairs. I got this, Vino Verde. I think it's Portuguese or something," he said, sitting down next to me and handing me a glass. I've never had wine before. It was once or twice for me, but I'm no expert. I watched him pour the liquid into the glass for me. Taking a sip, I'll admit right away I was hooked. My tongue at first wanted to reject it, but it identified to me as apple cider. Sweet, succulent, the scent and the texture tasted just like the apples I used to eat when I was younger. So tell me about yourself, Jack," I asked of him, leaning back against the pillows and crossing my legs. "Yeah, not much to tell, really. Just a city boy from the east looking for something different in his life. Away from the hustle and bustle for something more peaceful, I guess." "Really? And where'd you get this fancy little place? Inheritance, or just borrowing it from someone?" "I figured you'd ask about that. Well, about a week ago, I found out my stepdad died. I was all the way out in Rhode Island, and I got the call to come down to his funeral a week later. My stepdad won the lottery last year and decided to settle in California, and this is his house. When I got out here 2 weeks ago, I went to the hearing for his will. My family got some money, but he left the house and the last of his money to me. Why he chose me, I still don't really understand." "Why were you out at the Fox farm?" "I figured I'd check around the town, see if there's anything to do. I don't want to waste my entire dad's money at once, and if I was going to make any money, I wanted to make it clean. So I heard there was work out in the Fox farm and thought, why not? It would be boring just sitting around here doing nothing, right?" I nodded, and I hadn't realized how many sips I had taken. It felt like someone was very lightly rubbing a vibrator on the back of my head. "So what's your story? I mean, when I first met you, no offense, I kind of thought you were a girl." Well, my dad was in the military." "Stationed overseas?" "Yeah, he and I were close. I live with my aunt and uncle now down the road from the farm. The only family I really have out here. I'm just working on the farm for some extra cash. Maybe I'll be able to get out of this place, because quite frankly I haven't found anything good out here." I saw Jack smirk from the corner of my eye. "Aw, come on now," he said, a hand touching my shoulder lightly. You got a friend here, right? Damn him. Damn him in those eyes. Why did you have to be so charming and nice? I could feel myself scooting over closer to him, and that's only because Jack had brought me closer. We had gone through half the bottle, and I could clearly smell the scent of apples on his breath. You know, I had a feeling you were gay, he said to me. Don't worry, it's not really a problem or anything. And I take it you are? You're cute when you blush. Was I really blushing? I turned my head up to look him straight in the eyes, and time stood still again for a moment. I leaned in lightly and licked his lip. It was only a slow one, like I was tasting something for the first time. And I gave another lick, followed by another. I don't think he seemed to mind. All I felt was an arm coiled around my waist as he began to kiss me. I'd never been kissed before, so I let my instincts take over. And the last thing I really remember were the sounds of footsteps as we headed up to his room. And as for that, well, I think I'll let your imagination do the rest.